And so Powerhouse Nation Wrestling One Day Only's road came to an end, and all of Powerhouse Nation's roster went their separate ways. Their own stories to tell, with stories of their victories and defeats. After the Master was drafted to CXT, he now has retired from Powerhouse Nation with the US title in hand. But however, the Master has set to return until Powerhouse Nation One Day Only is set to return on the 26th of April. The Lindsay clan had retired from Powerhouse Nation for good, but Christopher Cross and Trixie Lockhart lived happily ever after and became one with one another after their recent marriage. But at least they had a chance to hold the US Championship title in hand with one another. After the CXT and Powerhouse Nation draft, about 10 people were drafted, including the Master. After this, the Master would retire as the champion of the US title until Powerhouse Nation would return. However, CXT would close its doors after the first and second round draft. However, people disliked the draft when it was happening. But however, the war between CXT and Powerhouse Nation would continue until Powerhouse Nation returns. The Mob Boss would become the new Intercontinental Champion after Silver Bells forfeited the Intercontinental Championship finals. After this, the Mob Boss would hold on to the championship until the return of Powerhouse Nation, and would wait until the 6-man Battle Royal to decide who would face the Mob Boss for the Intercontinental Championship at One Day Only. Also, the Mob Boss would still hold on to the keys to the Cooper Club Kingdom, and would remain the ambassador and the Intercontinental Champion of Powerhouse. As for Silver Bells, he forfeited the Powerhouse Nation Intercontinental Championship Finals, giving the Mob Boss the opportunity to become the Intercontinental Champion. However, after this, Silver Bells would continue to be on commentary with H. Morgan and Mini-Me Jim Ross, and Silver Bells would also continue to do YouTube, where he would do his movie reviews after One Day Only. After the aftermath of the battle for the Powerhouse Nation Wrestling title match, Shadow Scorpion lost his championship to the YouTuber known as LTM Vlogs, who managed to get the win at One Day Only and came out as the champion. However, following this, the Master would cash in the blood case to pin LTM for the championship, making the Master walk out as the Ultimate Champion of Powerhouse Nation Wrestling. After the Master won the Powerhouse Nation Championship, he became the Ultimate Champion of Powerhouse Nation Wrestling again. Now the Master has retired from the wrestling brand with both titles at hand, with the United States Championship and the Powerhouse Nation Wrestling Championship title. Today the Master has started a wrestling talk show called The Smack Talk, where in the show, him and the YouTuber Mr. Playboy talk about wrestling and other stuff in general. After the non-stop deletion match, H. Morgan was deleted for good from Powerhouse Nation, and now lives on to give way to the Mob Boss, the new character to Powerhouse Nation, to rise to the plate and to test for a championship shot. After the CXT tag team match versus the Crew dominated the tag team division and won the CXT tag team titles from the current CXT tag team champions. After this, the Crew went their separate ways. The Mob Boss and the Master left Powerhouse Nation and retired for good, with the CXT tag team titles in hand. Apollo Creed won his match against the final leader Hollywood Cooper, then he left Powerhouse Nation for good, looking to go and help Rocky Balboa to defeat the Russian boxer known as Drago in a match of a lifetime. After Evil King Cooper won his match against Silver Bells, he then went on to go to CXT. Stone Cold American Legendary and Big Phil lost some of their matches at One Day Only. They would go on to be a part of CXT and continue to be a part of Powerhouse Nation to the last man standing, to try and dominate the Powerhouse Nation roster. And so Powerhouse Nation's road came to an end, for now. In the world of Powerhouse Nation, the fighting continued, and the stories and the legacy of Powerhouse Nation would live on, just as it did back in the old days, because Powerhouse never changes.